Right, so where were we?
I don't know. Where were we? I think we were in Perth, weren't we? WA?
Mate, something like that. But we're here. Season 2. We're back. Bigger than and better than ever.
Yeah. What I like most is the evolution of the setup. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, we have DOS cameras now. So that gives you even more incentive to give us a bloody watch on YouTube, guys.
100%. And I don't really have a good side, but this is definitely my good side.
I bloody hope so. Okay, so punters, here we are, season 2 of the Polo Punt Club podcast. How bloody exciting it is. But just before we wanted to kick off and go into all the segments that we've done previously, we did want to basically address a couple of things. Just basically the structure of the show moving forward. So much of it's going to be pretty much the same, but we're not both going to be giving our Polo recipients each week. There's only going to be one of us. And we're also not going to be dissecting the entire cards. We're just basically going to be rolling into our juicy stakes, which, to be honest, will probably cover half the card anyway, in addition to the Group 1. So not much is changing, just tweaking it a bit, mate.
Yeah, you've got to look at what you've got. You've got to refine the product. That's what all entrepreneurs do,
I'm just building my empire, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just hustling, building my empire. You do you, I'll do me, all right?
How good, mate. How good. Okay. Well, without further ado, mate, let's kick in to the horses to follow from last weekend. And you know what, mate? You can do the honours.
Well, look, I actually looked at it a bit differently. I was gonna sort of look at the horses that are racing this weekend to watch for upcoming Group 1s.
Okay.
So that's a little bit different.
I like it.
Just because, to be completely honest, I haven't watched a lot of horse racing
Yeah,
over the last few months. I've watched a bit here and there. I've watched a few replays over the last 3 or 4 days just to come to terms with who's racing this weekend.
Yeah, to make sure that we're actually across something.
Yeah. So I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about when, in actual fact, that's not the case. So look. Kick it off with a couple of 2-year-olds. Obviously, we've got the Blue Diamond Stakes coming up on the 20th of Feb, I believe.
A couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 preludes this weekend at Caulfield, one for the fillies, one for Colton and Geldings. And there's one filly racing called Arcaded.
Yes.
So it's the favourite in the fillies edition of the Blue Diamond preview. It's about $3.50, so not the shortest favourite. But her only start, Arcaded, she won by about 3 lengths, and it was in mid-January. And any horse that can win by 3 lengths over 1,100 metres, obviously, is a class above. Smart. What I really liked, though, in that watching that replay, looked like a really mature 2-year-old, just ridden really quietly. Got into the race and started to really go, but she wasn't mucking around. She wasn't, bucking her head around or anything like that. She just looked like she had a really nice flow about her and built into her speed. She's about $23 in the Blue Diamond in futures. So, look, if she blitzes them this weekend,
she'll come in.
So
price will be halved at least.
Yeah, exactly. So, obviously, there's a standout favourite in the Blue Diamond at the moment, which is Enthar. But as we know, 2-year-olds can be scattered, and can improve or go backwards pretty rapidly between runs. So really keen to see how she goes.
Yeah, one moment they're here, mate. The next they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
2-year-olds, famous saying. I was listening to Wayne Hawkes during the week on RSN, and his old man John Hawkes, who that's how he refers to his old man. John Hawkes, not Dad. Goes like, John Hawkes would know what to do here. But he said John Hawkes always had a famous saying about 2-year-olds. You never judge them by their first run. You judge them by their second run. So that into consideration, Enthar is one for me that I had to follow, which is a bit of Captain Obvious, but I've kind of flipped it. One thing that I found really curious about her was that Earmuffs were on pre-race, during the race, and she had some other gear changes, which I couldn't remember.
She had all the gear.
And
still a lot of ideas, though.
Yeah. And Kieran Ma was saying, like, she's a bit of a nut job.
Yeah.
And the thing that I always refer to and look back on for Blue Diamonds, you need a pretty composed customer. I could not entertain $3 or the $2 that she is now. I just think, like, she'll be deserved favourite, but I can't see myself in a race that has a red hot speed, 2-year-olds. I can't see myself backing her.
Yeah, that's so fair. And like I said, they can, they're here one moment, they're gone the next, like you said. She is the one to beat, I think. But after both these prelude races on the weekend, that could change. I think going through the background of the Blue Diamond from memory, the preludes tend to push out some winners. I think Tagaloa would have been a placing or at least a fourth in the Colts and Geldings prelude last year, and I think Liar the year before won the Phillies edition. Yeah. So where are they now?
Yeah, where are they now? Jeez, he needs to have a good hard look at himself in the mirror. I reckon.
Who, Tagaloa? Yeah.
Well, something was amiss in the Caulfield Guineas where he finished last. You could see it. He's either over it and he wants to go to the breeding barn, or
fair.
Because they couldn't find anything wrong with him as well. So anyway, who else you got?
So I've got two from the Blokes Blue Diamond prelude.
I like it.
So Jigsaw is one.
Yep.
He is one of the favourites for that race. I think he's probably around $4 at the moment. Did it super easy in his only start at Geelong. And the horse that ran second in that race, Artorias, has gone on to win. But Jigsaw beat it by 3 lengths in that race. So it looks a pretty smart colt. So one to keep an eye on. I think he's about $8 to $10 for the Blue Diamond at the moment. But there's one that's... I think I'm already a bit of a fan of this horse just by watching his replay.
Give
and
it
his
to
name. Yulong Turbo.
Turbo.
So
I know exactly why you like this horse.
So he's $23, right? And I watched the replay of his only run in Morfettville. He is enormous. He's an enormous boy.
He's huge.
I watched the replay. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I know, mate.
He was twice the size of those horses.
So I was listening. I saw something on racing.com about this horse, and who's the young Hayes? Is it Ben Hayes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's the trainer, Lindsay Parker, the trainers, and he was saying, like, they couldn't see him at the sales because they refused to bring him out because he was that ugly. Because his head, he said he's got a bloody big head on him.
But he's got like his skull almost goes like from his forehead and arches like a bridge. It's bizarre.
And but he said he's grown into his body just by the pure size of him.
He's enormous.
He can't be a Blue Diamond or a Golden Slipper horse. He'll be in the sires and over 1,600. So...
I couldn't believe it.
I know, mate.
I was watching it and I was like, holy, this guy's the size of Behemoth already.
Yeah.
Enormous boy. Look, he played up a lot in that race, but once he got clear with about, a furlong to go, maybe a bit less, he kicked and he could go.
Mate, he has no idea what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. The other horses were scared of him. It was like, what's this absolute monster lurking?
What's this truck doing next to me?
Where did you come from? Enormous. $23 in this race, $50 for the Blue Diamond.
Yeah.
If he runs well, I'll be all over him like chlamydia. Like he's enormous and really keen to see how he goes. But I think Jigsaw's a pretty fair horse too, so we'll see.
Yeah, nice. I had from last weekend I had Colding. So he ran a new peak first up. And he's getting a bit older now. He's 5, 6 now. So when he was first up behind Savatiano, that was the best he's ever run first up, which is great. He's on for some races in Melbourne, namely the All-Star Mile and the Australia Cup. But put a line through those. I'm the trainer now. There's no way he's going to Melbourne. Like, he just doesn't go a yard the Melbourne way of going.
Keep him in Sydney. And his autumn last year was horrific. So, keep it simple.
Yeah. So I reckon he could try and win the Doncaster again. Why not? I think that looks a really nice race for him.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
did you have any more?
Oh, look, just had an honourable mention for young Werter as well, who's racing this weekend. So obviously he got third in the Derby in the spring.
You're loyal.
Yeah.
You are loyal.
I am. That was his third career start. So, look, really keen to see how he goes. He's in the Autumn Stakes, which is 1,400 metres. I don't think 1,400 metres is jam. I think a mile to 2,000, maybe even longer.
Three quarters of that field aren't going to be suited by that.
Yeah. So, but he's a good horse. So, really keen to see how he goes. He's nommed for the Guineas and the Australia Cup. So, don't know which one he'll go to. I think the Australian Cup will probably be more suited, but keen to see how he goes.
Yeah, nice. My last one was Written Beauty. My goodness, did you see this filly's trial?
I did.
So she's a big girl, big filly, and they usually get the job done. Put 5 lengths on Dirty Work.
Yeah, that's decent.
That is nuts.
It is
insane
decent
stuff. So she's She's like $1.30 this weekend in Sydney, but
yeah.
She's currently $8 for the Oakley Plate, which I think that's her target. If you like her in this weekend, jump on her at the $8. You'll get a good run for your money because she'll start for $4 or so.
Yeah, certainly.
Beautiful. Okay, mate. Well, horses to follow throughout the autumn. It's going to be good. Nearly said spring then. Had to pivot a little bit. But yeah, Polo Recipients. And before you get stuck in for this conversation, can you please give us a little bit of
an overview? Yeah. So look, essentially Polo Punt Club named after the fact that we had some banter a couple of years ago that there's some polos that are just made better than others. So we decided that navy and grey polos, with navy being the top, are the best polos. You've got your polos that are pretty good. Not bad. White polos, black polos.
They're honest.
Honest polos. You see them a lot. They get the JD. And then the worst polo you could possibly have is a purple polo. Yeah. Absolutely feral. So our punt club, every Derby day, has a competition.
Yes.
Where the loser, who has the worst day, gets gifted the purple polo.
Who's the current holder of that?
That would be me.
Unbelievable scenes.
Didn't pick a single winner Derby day last year, so
you had a mare.
Absolute nightmare. But, it happens to the best of us.
It does. It's happened to me, mate.
Yeah, it has.
I'll admit, it's fine.
I solemnly swear that I'm a purple polo winner. Yeah. So that's the jam. So each week we give out polos. I think last season we said, this is the top tier, this is the middle tier. You know what? Let's just simplify it a little bit this year for this season, actually. So each week, I think a navy polo is gifted to someone who's done well.
Yep.
Something who's done well.
Yep.
White polo.
Yep.
Someone who's done pretty good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely good. Or someone who's been good and bad, or something that's been good and bad. And then obviously the purple polo to someone who's had an absolute shocker. Look, we've been out of action for a few months, so there's been a lot on.
Yeah, mate, we have a lot of data to shoot through.
There is. But look, the navy polo, I'm going to give a shout out to my girlfriend G.
Yes. Rightfully so.
A big plug in here. She probably won't listen to this, so she won't know.
That's okay.
She'll be none the wiser. But for those who know her and who follow her Instagram account, Snaps by G, lol. Also a plug at Snaps by G if you want to give that a follow. Really nice film pictures. Yeah. She actually just shaved her head for charity.
Yes.
So she managed to raise over 10 grand for the Leukemia Foundation. So big props to her.
Huge.
It takes a big set to shave your head when it's halfway down your back for most of your life.
Mate, yeah. Credit to her. She did a very good job.
So she's done well there. So that's a navy polo G. So I'll see her at home later. I'll gift it to you then. It's fitted. It's nice. Ralph Lauren. Could be worse.
Lovely.
White polo this week. Gonna have a splash of teal on it, I think.
Oh.
Good pal of the pod, Swepo, and the Brisbane Heat. I think they deserve a polo because, look, me included, didn't think they'd get to where they are this season.
No way, mate. No way.
So, yeah, a lot of the pundits out there thought that they wouldn't get this far, but they have. They've when it's come to crunch time, they've really performed. Swepo's bowled really well. Nearly as well as Marnus.
Mate, Marnus has been unbelievable since he's come back. And there's been like a common thread. It's like someone different stepping up over the last few games.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have expected Sam Hazlitt to get him home the other night, but it's good that someone like that did, because I think Lenny's shoulders were getting a bit too sore.
Yeah. Well, Lenny's due. I reckon he'll come out tonight, and we're recording on a Thursday. He'll come out tonight in the prelim final and do his job. But Sammy Hazlitt's a good cricketer, man. I think he's probably better suited like batting down the order in a T20 maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
But he'd do better than us. That's
Mate, if I could hit one ball off the square, would be an absolute miracle. Absolute miracle. Purple Polo, so...
Give it to me.
Oh, look, so many dishonourable mentions.
You rolling through some?
Oh, and half the professional tennis players in the world...
Oh, my God.
I
forgot about that.
Probably deserve Purple Polo. Payne Haas. It's a big polo, but he deserves one. Yeah. Purple. Yeah. Mate, heaps of politicians. We're not a political pod.
No.
But some of them have been absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Not just in this country, but elsewhere. But... mate, this is a racing podcast.
Yes, it is.
I have to give it to that absolute dickhead who ran on the track at Trentham on Wellington Cup Day in New Zealand.
I could not believe my eyes when I saw that.
Mate, how heavy are horses? Like,
they're
like half a ton?
If you're behemoth, you're 600 kilos.
Mate, if you're Yulong Turbo, you're 800 kilos. And they're going quick, like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 kilometers per hour.
Black Caviar got up to 70 k's an hour.
Oh, there you go.
Like, yeah, they're traveling.
They're traveling. So you get hit by that,
you die.
You're pretty much brown bread.
But, yeah, anyway.
And not only that,
yeah,
he's putting the horses at risk because they could freak the F out.
Well,
and the jockeys, obviously.
I showed some people from work this during the week, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so weird." I'm like, "You're not appreciating how freaking dangerous this is because I've seen it before and you can only see from the side on, but a horse will see the winning post and they get spooked and then they shift out. It's like, I can't believe all of them held their line.
I couldn't believe that either. That was a miracle.
Yeah.
And well done to the jockeys for steering them around him. But look, that is just top tier dickhead energy.
Yeah.
And I just hope that it doesn't start a trend. You know what I mean? You know, things like that. And then before you know it, they'll have to change security for trackside, and you won't be able to get up close to the railings and all that sort of stuff. Mounting up. You know what I mean? It's just you don't want to see it.
I don't think it will.
Oh,
I think people are smarter than that.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably did have a belly full of piss and maybe some other gear, but no excuses. He'll go to jail for that, surely.
Oh, I don't know.
Deserves to.
Yeah, he definitely does. Could have been absolutely catastrophic. Cool. Anything else to add?
Nah, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, beautiful. I'll have an honourable mention, even though it's not yours. The terrible news today that broke with Tiako Shark.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I wrote this before that, so...
Yeah. Terrible news for the big fella. Did you actually hear what happened to him?
No, I didn't. No, I haven't read into it.
He had surgery on one eye because he was going blind in it. And in the recovery, they retired him because he got pneumonia. And it was starting to spread to his other eye. So he actually went blind in both eyes. Now, you can hold on to a horse that is blind, but then you basically have to keep them in a box forever. And they don't have any quality of life. And if you put them out, then they just walk into stuff, get spooked, run away, run through fences and stuff. So 16 years of that, or putting them down. They decide to put him down.
Yeah. That's terrible.
So, and that it actually got announced that they did it over a week ago, and they've only just announced it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think for everyone involved, they were very upset, and likewise, he was a brilliant thing for racing, mate.
Yeah, he was, the Shark. He was definitely one of those horses that...
Cult status.
Yeah, exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Could certainly turn up on his day, so yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Absolutely. Okay. On a lighter note, mate, it is the first Group 1 of the autumn, so the CF Orr. Let me
CF Orr.
run you through some stats, and then we'll give our little favourites of some people or some horses that featured in similar races throughout the past. But first run in 1925, so it's heading into its 96th birthday or so. Key lead up has been the Australia Stakes, so that's run at Moonee Valley. This year, good 3, 1,200 metres, weight for age. That's the race that Streets of Avalon won, but he did get the run of the race, and he loves a rock hard track. Won that by nearly 2 lengths to Viridine, and Tavasan ran third. Previous winners, Manicato won it 3 times, Beau Rogue 3 times, Saintly, Lonhro, Blackheart, Bart, Hartnell, and can you guess who won it last year? Do you remember?
Oh.
And it's a real where are they now type.
Alabama Express?
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't
Where are they now?
I don't think he ran in the top 10 since.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So Alabama Express stole it last year at about 20-1 as well. But before we get into the race, mate, let's show the punters, for those of them watching on YouTube and on the gram, because we'll chuck this on the gram. Who have you got in front of you there?
Mate, this is a horse by the name of Shidell. She's
Great
a good
horse.
girl.
Great horse.
Great horse. Group 1 and winner in the Oakley Plate. So, obviously, a sprint in Caulfield. I think 2017, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, so I had her that day, and she was about $8. So, yeah. And I think she also ran a place on a Derby day from memory.
Yeah, where she was well down in the weights, I think.
Yeah.
But I think she was at her best as like 3-year-old in the sprints.
Yeah. She, I think her last prep, she was pretty disappointing from memory, but before that, she had a really great strike rate. So, want a bit of cash on her. So, plus, fillies.
Yeah. You do love Philly.
I love fillies.
My big boy here, I reckon he was one of the best sparring partners with Redzel. Russian Revolution.
Yeah, he was. He was a good horse.
Yeah. Mate, I rewatched the Oakley Plate that he won in 2018 before you came over. My goodness. Do yourself a favour, punters. He had no right to win that, and he won it arrogantly.
Did he?
He was 5 wide the trip. No cover.
Yeah, right.
And he was always one of those ones that just went out, did his thing,
Yeah.
Had to go do it out in front. And he's
Genuine Group 1 horse.
And he sweated up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He just wanted to get on with it. And from what I've heard, his early season 2-year-olds and yearlings, they're looking quite smart.
Are they?
Stud. So
there you go.
Good to see.
It is good to see.
Okay, mate. So getting onto the feature, what are your thoughts on this race? It's a bit of a head scratcher.
It's an interesting one. It always is a CF4. I guess you have a few horses that are sort of resuming who are clearly looking to go into bigger and better things.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to the other horses. And then, look, there's some horses who are into their prep. So I guess I'm not generally someone who likes to back a horse that's first up, but I think this is an exception to the rule.
I think it has to be.
Yeah, there's so many horses that are first up here. Nice mixture of horses. You've got 8-year-old veteran Humidor at the top, all the way down to 3-year-old Crosshaven.
Yeah.
So a nice mixture of horses.
Absolutely.
How do you see this one playing out, mate? Because there seems to be a lot of early speed.
It does. I think Crosshaven's probably the best draw from Barrier 4. So I think he'll get to the fence pretty easily. I think Streets of Avalon has drawn a little bit sticky. On the website, polopodcast.com, I wrote up in the CF4 preview there that recently in the features that he's been running in, he unfortunately just draws out and he finds himself 3 wide on pace. If that happens again here, I think it'll just be a little bit of a stretch for him, but he's the track and trip horse.
Yeah, he's won a Group 1 at the distance and track before, so yeah.
Yeah. Sovereign Award will kick up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Sir Dragonet sit midfield, forward of midfield. If he runs, I don't think he'll run.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think, what was there, 20 mils forecast for Friday. They had 50 mils last Friday, and it was a good 3 by the end of the day. So I think the track managers will ensure that it's like maybe a soft 5, good 4 at the start of the day. And if that's the case...
This is the 8th race on the card, so...
He's a wet tracker. He won't be running. I'd be really surprised if he ran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, fair enough, yeah. I hope he does.
He's never raced under 2,000 metres.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yeah, look, I hope he does, just for the sake of getting him back into his prep and winding him up for some races that are further down the track. I don't have him on top.
I can't. There's too many unknowns with him.
Yeah. Look, he's the quality horse in the race.
He's a Cox Plate winner.
Yeah, 1,400 metres though.
Yeah.
And first up, if it is a bit of a dry track by the end of the day, all questions. I love Bossy's enthusiasm.
No questions on his mind at all.
Bossy's like, this is the best horse I've ever seen in my life. Don't worry about Mackay.
But the other thing for Sir Dragonet as well, he has a bit of issues on his feet, I see. He has some glue on the shoes.
Yeah, I did see that, which I don't like.
Yeah, synthetic hoof feel off. So the synthetic comes off, glue goes on. So I don't know if he's 100% right. Surely they're not playing around with the feet. Anyway, anyone else you wanted to mention before you go into your trifecta?
So look, the other horse that we mentioned Streets of Avalon, Sovereign Award, and Crosshaven all coming out and leading. Horse that'll be back a bit is Imaging, but I think might just sit off the pace. And it's got a really cracking record at the distance, Imaging. And I think it's going to be there or thereabouts. Had a pretty decent last prep.
Very unlucky.
Very unlucky in a lot of instances. So I think it'll run quite decently. But like you said, Crosshaven, lighter weight, drawn perfectly. I think he'll get a pretty comfortable lead, sit on the rail, should be ridden pretty quietly and should be able to control the race really from the start. So I think Crosshaven will win this. So I've got it on top. Look, I think if the Dragon runs, it's got a feature in the top 3 just purely based on quality. And look, its trial was a pretty short distance and it did that really well. It was a trial, but I think it's a pretty smart horse. So I think it'll run second. And then I've got Sovereign Award running third. But if the Dragon doesn't run, push Sovereign Award up to second place. I think it's got a cracking record at the distance. Resuming goes pretty well. And then I think third will have to go to Imaging. So, that's what I reckon. But I think Crosshaven at $4. Obviously, that price will come in if Dragon gets scratched. But
yeah, I think he could take about 30-ish%, probably more, off the $4.
Okay.
So, I Crosshaven on top as well for all the reasons outlined. I think, mate, 7 starts, 5 wins. He had some pretty damn good form. Ole Kirk and Asar, who, didn't win last week, probably should have, but, ran okay.
Yeah.
So I think his form's quite good. He's getting weight off all these. So I think he'll win. He's just, he matched really well for this.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, both his runs that he didn't win, there was a 4th there and a 6th there, were both on good 3s. All of his other victories are on good 4 or softer. So that's interesting. What's the difference between a good 3 and a good 4? Don't know. It might not be much, but...
just harder.
Yeah. But, that's interesting to see. I think the lighter weight, though, helps him. And, such a good draw. So
yeah, no, that's a good pickup. If it's a good 3 really early in the day, could be something to consider because I don't think the Dragon will run. And that brings my second place right into the game, Streets of Avalon. He loves it rock hard. If he can get a bit of luck and, maybe sit equal lead, 1 off the fence, I think he could be pretty damn... He shows a bit of grit, this horse. He ran the quickest last 200 in that Australia Stakes, whatever it was, where others could have easily outrun him coming from the back. So I think he's actually going pretty well. And you could just put a line through his spring. It came out that he was not right, which I wasn't on him. But if you were, wouldn't you just love having that information at the time?
Oh, yeah.
It's just annoying. And in third, I have Imaging because I don't think Sir Dragonet is going to run.
Yeah, okay,
so
fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate. No, keen to see the race. Good way to start off the season.
Yeah. It's not the best, but definitely not the worst. Alrighty. Here we go, mate. The Juicy Stakes is back for the autumn. So the Juicy Stakes, punters, is where we give our value each way and best bets of the day. Now, once the racing kicks off a bit better, where there's features in both Sydney and Melbourne, we'll be providing those for each state. But this week, we're just doing it for Caulfield. And we'll basically tell you why we think think these things will run pretty good. And as we have done in the past, we're going to try and actually get some winners for Living Legends this season. So we raised $150 for them last year. Basically, we'll put our best bets into an all-up, chuck $10 on it, and then all the proceeds go to Living Legends. And if not, we just donate the $10 to them anyway. So, kick us off, DJ. Who's your value play of the day at Caulfield?
Oh, well, I've got to go with the big fella.
Oh,
Yulong Turbo.
20 what?
$23.
Damn.
So that's race 3 from memory. Yeah. More than happy to see how I go with him.
He's definitely my favourite ever Yulong horse.
Oh, of course he is.
Yeah.
Don't like the others.
No. Yeah.
Yulong Rising? No. Yulong January? No, thanks.
No. What was that Yulong one that won at Derby Day?
Was that Yulong January?
I don't know. I forget. I put that out of my memory.
Yeah, I've just deleted that race from my memory as well.
Delete.
Yeah. Do yourself a favour, punters. Go watch his replay because it's
hilarious.
He's that big. Like, it's hilarious how big he is.
I love it. Okay, my value play of the day is in race 5, mate. Number 2, Hindam. So this filly actually beat La Mexicana, the top weight, last prep, and you're getting 4 times the price. I can't work that out.
Yeah, right.
So when I was writing up this last night, it was $15. I think it's come in a bit since then. But absolutely no respect.
Mate, look at its record.
Yeah. The bottom weight. All right. So the reason why there is a clear favourite in this race, you have to watch this thing's.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It won this.
Pinkham.
It won this trial by 7 lengths, and it doesn't look like losing. But Saturday, mate, different gravy, absolutely different gravy. So, yeah, I think the 13, 15, $12, whatever you get, I think, yeah, you can definitely feature. So,
nice each way, mate. Why not?
Yeah. So that can kick us off nicely. Who's your each way, mate?
Well, actually, in Young Werter's race, not Young Werter itself, I'm more of a watch for it first up at that distance.
Absolutely.
But the number 7, It's Our Time. It's about $9 at the moment. Get about $2.80 for the place. So it's won both starts so far. Multiple horses from those races have gone on to win. So it's targeting the Aussie Guineas. You can get it about $34 at the moment. So, yeah, they're both at the similar price at the moment, it and Young Werter. It's Our Time. It's its first sort of big city race, but watch both its first races. It looks pretty good. So, stablemates as well.
Yeah, Danny O'Brien, mate. Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, yeah, keen to see how it goes.
Beautiful. Okay, mine is in race 4, number 4 in the wait, no, it's not. Race 3, number 4, I think. Apologies. Yeah, race 3, number 4 in the Prelude.
Head-to-head with Yulong.
Yes. I've got Construct. So, no respect for this bloke either. Mate, he ran second to Shakiro in Sydney. Just came out and won Magic Millions pretty well. Like, I know, I saw that. I'm like, okay, they've missed this. Snowden's can get a 2-year-old. So I think, look, pretty stacked field to be honest. But, I think he might be the horse that's been missed.
He wouldn't miss in that race. Big Turbo.
He might be your favourite horse ever.
I think, mate, I tell you what, if he wins this weekend, overtakes Scholes, obviously. And then if he goes on to win the Blue Diamond, it has to be my favourite horse of all time. Has to be. It has to be.
Okay, mate. Who's your best of the day?
Look, I do really like Arcaded, that 2-year-old in the fillies race. Really impressive first run. $3.50. There's nothing else in that race that really caught my eye. So, and mate, I love Godolphin fillies. Love them. Mate. So, $3.50.
Bang. All right. 2-year-old. Mate, I'm going to the Get Out Stakes. So I think that's a pretty common trend for me, actually, going in the last. But you have a look at that field for me, and who do you reckon I've gone on top?
Ooh, as your BB.
Yes.
I actually had a bit of a look for this for a potential BD. Not talking about Dowie. BB. Have you gone Grey Worm?
Of course I have.
Yeah, thought so.
Mate, had one run in the spring. Put a line through that. The big fella just needed a bit of time off. Needed a bit of a holiday. Put his hooves up. He's come out, won 2 trials, looking very nice. Mate, beat trekking last prep.
Yeah.
And he's going up against this lot. What am I missing?
Oh, mate, Viridine's all right, but... Prophet Sum's all right.
Yeah.
How Romantic's all right, but... No, I think Grey Worm's the best horse in that race.
Yeah, $4.40. My goodness.
Silly price.
I think that's a steal. The other horse who I'm a bit nervous about is How Romantic in that, the one that you just said. That trial at Geelong, so there was 3 trials over 1,000 metres. So Dragonet was one, another one, and then How Romantic. How Romantic ran the last 400 in just over 22 seconds. Yeah, so flying, ran it quicker than Sir Dragonet. Now, different races, they're trials, but I think this horse is going better than it ever has, so could definitely win. But yeah, so what do we got? We have Grey Worm and Arcaded.
I like
it.
I was wondering if Arcaded was related to all the Arcadias somehow, but nah. But it's Dam, Gloriette. It's Fala.
Yes.
Lonro.
Oh.
That's always nice.
Go Lonro, go.
He was a good horse.
Oh, Australia Cup, whenever that was. Just Google, YouTube, Lonro, Australia Cup. You will not be disappointed.
You will not be.
And Greg Miles just lifts that moment right off the canvas.
Yeah, how good.
Okay. Well, by my books, mate, that's the first one of the season done and dusted.
Tick.
Just easing on in there.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Making sure it's nice and prepared.
A little bit rusty, but you know what, mate? We'll get there.
We'll get the flow back, mate.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, until next time, punters, we'll see you then.